Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this. This is your Evolve 47 and Evolve 48 review. This is LK here from the KocoSports.net team. That's KocoSports.net. It's where the world comes to kick ass. Your home for combat sports, and above all, it's okay to be a passionate fan. And if you are a passionate fan of pure technical mat work pro wrestling, you've come to the right place and you come to the right company in Evolve. And if you are a fan of that style of pro wrestling, the Catchers Clan style, the really technical but also very physical style of professional wrestling, this is a company that you should definitely check out. And if you are interested in watching either Evolve 47 and Evolve 48, which I will break down and analyze very shortly for you guys, go to wwnlive.com. That's wwnlive.com to buy the shows on demand. I think they're $9.99 or $14.99. I'm not sure. Either way, if you live in the UK, convert it. I think it's about, if it's the $14.99, it's £9. If it's $9.99, it's £6. Either way, for a few hours of really top-notch wrestling, I think it's worth your time. And if I was to choose before I get down to breaking down both shows, I would probably say Evolve 47 is the one I'd pick if I only had that certain amount of money. Say I only had £10 to spend, I would go for Evolve 47 because it was all around a better show. That's just my personal opinion. Other people might think differently. Also, at the same time, make sure you put win-loss tie in the comment section. Obviously, this isn't done live on the Koco Sports YouTube channel, but I will reply to every single comment that is in there regarding this review and this podcast. So let's get to it. Evolve 47, as this is going to be a long one. This is easily going to be half an hour at least. So buckle up, fasten your seatbelts. This is going to be a bumpy ride. So Evolve 47 aired 2 nights ago on Saturday, the 15th of August, 2015. Our opening. Well, before I get down to the opening contest, my opinion on the building, it was a very nice building. It was very full. There was some very nice lighting. There was some billboards all around. If any of you have ever been to a PCW or a Preston City wrestling event, and the venue that they have obviously in Preston, that is like this venue. It's just, imagine that more high tech. There's billboards with a fancy Evolve 47 logo flashing every 5 seconds, which is very nice and good for them. And the place did look packed, which is good to see. Obviously, Evolve, obviously not the biggest company in the world, so good to see them making some bucks. Again, this is opening contest, Tracy Williams versus Biff Busick. This is my first time actually ever watching Tracy Williams. I heard it. I've done some research, and apparently he was in Chikara as maybe Fire Ant or Silver Ant, one of them. Don't take my word for it. I'm not a Chikara guy. It's not my style of professional wrestling. I do apologize if it is good for you, but it's just not mine. So let's get down to opening match. Starts off with some nice technical work. Again, I'm English. I'm all for technical wrestling. Every match should start off with technical wrestling, unless it's a feud ender or an intense feud. There was some incredible transition into various submissions by Williams, such as an ankle lock and a camel clutch. Biff Busick also does this with a half crab and STF. Even though really nothing on the line here, every single match is important because there is the WWN rankings, and Evolve comes under the category of WWN, the World Wrestling Network. Is loads of companies combined, and they produce this rankings, even though it's mainly Evolve. Let's call a spade a spade. And, so a win is important. So it's important to get these wins, especially in matches like this where Biff Busick goes on Evolve 48 to face Timothy Thatcher. So again, very important. Both men pick up the pace. They exchange some filthy forearms. The crowd is split 50-50, which is kind of surprising. Tracy Williams hits a delicious teardrop suplex. I mean, when was the last time you saw a teardrop suplex? Fucking bravo. Really, really nice stuff. Biff then goes for a springboard move, but Tracy in midair counters into a crossface. That's very nice. Biff then hits a Cesaro-esque running uppercut for 2. That's just a testament to how good he is when I'm comparing him to the likes of a Cesaro. Tracy then hits an underhook brainbuster, which is again close to a spike brainbuster. He did this again on Evolve 48, so I think it was Ray Horus, but I'll get onto that when we get to Evolve 48. But it really did spike him. It looked very, very nasty. So if you're one of those cringy people, I'll definitely give that a skip. It wasn't very nice at all. Tracy then applies the crossface and Biff Busick taps. Big win for Williams if you consider Biff Busick will go on to main event Evolve 48 the next night. But also Tracy Williams is a part of the Catch Point Wrestling Group, which is a stable basically, which is ran by Drew Gulak. It started off nicely with some nice technical, and it built and built and built into a hot finish. I really did think it was a good match. Handshake, Biff Busick declines. When I watched this live, I thought, is he turning heel? But then I realized it clicked when I watched Evolve 48. No, he's trying to man up, so to speak. He's trying to pick up the intensity because he will be going into a no-holds-barred match. So he doesn't want to show any weakness to Timothy Thatcher, and I respect that. It was a 3.25-star match. Very, very good stuff. Again, I liked how it went from technical. It was like a New Japan main event. It starts off with some technical hold, then it gets slow-paced, heel heat, maybe a bit of a false comeback, and then it finally picks up towards the end, and there's some great spots. As in this, again, I wasn't a fan of that underhook brainbuster. If it's done properly, it could be beautiful, but he nearly spiked him on his head, and that could be very serious, and I don't want him to do that to someone who's not as trained as Biff Busick and really hurting someone, so be on the lookout for that if you are watching this show. Then we move on to our next match. We have Rich Swann versus Drew Gulak. Does anyone, in my opinion, in the independent circuit, if you're a close follower to the independent circuit, does anyone have a better entrance than Rich Swann? I mean, he comes out, he sings all night long. I mean, the crowd are into it. Who doesn't know that song? Like, it gets you like little groovy in your own chair here. It gets a "that was awesome" chant. It was that good. It really was a great entrance. The crowd are behind Rich Swann, obviously. Gulak, in my opinion, could be potentially the best mat wrestler in the world. It's very close. I mean, Biff Busick can't be sniffed at. I mean, you got Drew Gulak, Zack Sabre Jr. Oh, I wouldn't mind seeing a Zack Sabre Jr. Drew Gulak match anytime, any day of the week, really. I mean, Timothy Thatcher's very close. I mean, they're three top tier technical wrestlers. And Rich Swann is a very good high flyer. Again, speed versus power. It's mat work versus high flying ability, which always intrigues me. Both men are a top 10 in the WWN rankings. So it's important for both of these men to get a victory here. And the match starts off with, like every Evolve match, with some nice technical work. They then have a very, very, very good pinfall exchange, which could potentially be one of the best ones I've ever seen. Generally, it really could. It got a standing ovation. They went through victory rolls, monkey flips, inside cradles, roll-ups, small packages, everything. They got them all, and it was very, very well done. They're all transitioning. It was very, very, very good. The story for this one is Swann wants to pick up the pace, and obviously Drew Gulak wants to bring it down to the mat, and that does create a good story, because then you see Swann pick it up, and you're like, yes, this is where it picks up, and then boom, cuts you off, and then cuts you off as well. Swann then goes for a head scissors into a hurricane run, a bit of mid-flight. Gulak nails him with a powerbomb. Commentary are putting over Billy Robinson. Now, I've been doing my research on the AWA from the 1970s, because I watched a documentary on the W Network, and then started checking out a few of Vern Gagne and Billy Robinson's match from back in the 70s, and they had a great match in 1974 in Japan. It was a 2 out of 3 falls match. Definitely recommend you to watch that. And it was a very good match. And I just love it when, like, Evolve is a very pure wrestling company, and then they're talking about companies, like AWA. I mean, that to me it makes me pop. Maybe it was just because I'm literally just coming off a documentary which really studied Billy Robinson. That might just be me. Swann then goes for a standing 450 splash, and Gulak kicks his freaking head off. I mean, kicks it off. So just imagine that he bounces, goes to flip. As he flips, Gulak's feet, boof. Very, very nasty. I cringed. I was like, oh shit. I honestly thought there was something very, very wrong with this, because it looked ferocious. It got the win, and that scared me even more, because normally there would have been a good near fall and I thought they would be fine, but it wasn't. It was the end. I thought, oh god, I hope he's okay. Again, a really good match. Give this 5 more minutes with some added in near falls, you could have yourself a very good match. But it's a 2.5-star match, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. This is the joint worst match out of both nights. A 2.5-star. If you saw a 2.5-star match or more, you'd be like, oh yeah, this Raw's awesome. On here, it's the joint worst match of the night, and that's just a testament to how good Evolve is. Johnny Gargano then comes out to check on Rich Swann, because obviously they're friends and tag team partners on previous Evolve events. Gargano then puts over Ethan Page versus Gargano, which will be on this show, which I'll get to. Then he also Timothy Thatcher then comes out. He is the Dragon Gate USA and Evolve champion. He comes out, and then basically Thatcher says Gargano is the man who should retire the Dragon Gate USA Open, the Freedom Gate Championship, as he did hold it twice and was the first American wrestler to hold that belt. And again, I'm happy. Excuse me. Because we are now down to 1 championship in Evolve. I didn't like how there was 2 belts, because then they had double championship matches. I'm like, no. I only want 1 championship in Evolve, and that's the way how it is now. And that's all good. And again, remember this, Gargano helping Swann. Remember that. Here we go. Page 3. Jesus Christ, I have 14 pages to get through. So here we go. Oh, Jesus, this was a cracker. Speedball Mike Bailey versus Chris Hero. What a freaking good match. And again, what else is freaking good is some little touches from Hero during his entrance. Like he tests the buckles, like he tests his rolling forearms in the corner during the ring entrance, which really does, it just suspends your disbelief if you're thinking, okay, he's testing it out, okay? So that basically reminding you, Chris Hero, rolling forearms, fuck, they're good. You know, just I love a little touch of that. And Chris Hero is a legend. Okay, if you're a close follower to the independent circuit, you know Chris Hero is a legend. And I don't mean to be harsh, but you know, maybe consider hitting the gym a bit more, or maybe putting on a shirt or wearing a singlet. I don't know. I have no problem. This could be Chris Hero's best year in pro wrestling, personal. But I just feel, you know, I don't want to come across as insulting because I'm such a hero mark, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, look at you. Come on, let's hit the gym. Come on, buddy, let's go. Damn. Oh, there's no technical from this one. It goes straight to strikes, and Jesus Christ, it's just a page of strikes. Bailey hits at least 20 fucking kicks in the corner. No joke. Hero then hits a filthy bicycle kick, sending him all the way to the floor. It really was filthy. Hero then hits a nasty jumping high knee, and then Hero, you know, he could be potentially turning heel. I mean, he kept on disrespecting Bailey on this one. And the story for this one really is Bailey is the underdog. And I'm a fan of this storyline, and I'll get on to why in the Evolve 48 review, why I think this Bailey underdog storyline could be potentially amazing. Again, stick around because it'll be definitely worth it. Bailey hits a Naito-esque triangle moonsault to the floor. Hero then goes for a German, and Bailey lands on his feet and then hits a standing corkscrew splash. Hero then hits a discus bicycle kick, turning him inside out. And these kicks and strikes and everything are ridiculous. Honestly, ridiculous. They're incredible. Hero then hits some chops and elbows, and Bailey no-sells. He's hulking up. Bailey then hits a standing moonsault double knee stomp. So imagine that. He stand up, he then backflips, and boof, double knees right into his gut. Really, really nice stuff. Bailey then hits a spin kick, taking his damn head off. That gets a "This is awesome" chant. Hero hits a sit-down powerbomb for 2. There's a speedboard awesome, so is Hero chant, and the crowd is electric for this. Bailey hits a shooting star double knee stomp off the second rope for 2. Very, very nice. How and Hero screamed in pain when he landed. He landed right in his back. I mean, there's no safe way to land. Like, let's be honest. I mean, Bailey is going to land on your knees first. You just got to sit there, and they're there in the all fours, praying that he doesn't land on his head. And it must be such a excruciating feeling to know that it's about to happen. It must be so tempting just to move out of the way, but that's just a testament to all these really, really nutcase pro wrestlers out there. Jesus, he would not be able to do that if he ever got signed to WWE, and I hope he doesn't. Like, when I watch these Evolve shows, I pray these guys don't leave, because I love watching them in Evolve. I love, you know, paying to see these guys, because there's a feeling that, you know, of really, the commentators really put over, like, we really thank you for spending your hard-earned money with us at the WNLive.com. And I'm all up for that. And I like how they thank you, because WWE don't thank you. They don't say, oh, thank you for spending $9.99 on the network. They're like, oh, you didn't buy pay-per-view. That makes you smart. It's like, come on, no, you know, I had to work for that money. It's not, come on, Jesus Christ. They exchange some very stiff strikes until, oh, dude, they exchange some rolling elbows and spin kicks that are unhealthy. They are generally they're not healthy. They're not safe in any way, shape, or form. Hero then hits a fucking dirty rolling elbow to get the win. I mean, the sound effect, the noise, the way how Bailey sells is revolting. If you're a fan of physical pro wrestling, this is a match for you, and I am. And I like the booking. It made sense, as it keeps Hero looking strong heading into the Evolve 48 match against Zack Sabre Jr. And yes, I said that. And yes, that is a fucking great match. And Bailey looked incredible in defeat. He didn't look like a weak. It wasn't a squash. He got lots of offense in, and a few times looked like he was going to get the win with some of his strikes. Again, it's a learning curve. It's an experience. The better opponents you have, the better it makes you. And is there anyone better than Chris Hero? In my opinion, no. Very good. Probably one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time. If I had my way, people would treat Hero like Christopher Daniels, and people would treat Christopher Daniels like Chris Hero. If I had my way, that's how it would happen. Again, Hero then shaked hand after the match. And what's so good about this is, because that's some great storytelling, because early on in the matchup, Bailey offers a handshake and Hero declines. Now Hero basically saying, look, you've earned my respect. I will shake your hand. That was a very good match. Definitely recommend you guys checking that out. I'm going to give it 4 stars. Very, very good. And you know, I'm a stingy bastard when it comes to star ratings. It's very difficult to get a 4-star out of me, so very good job, guys. And then we have Horus versus Trent Barreta. Premier Brand then come out, which is Caleb Konley, Anthony Nese, and SoCal Val. They basically turned on Trent Barreta at the Evolve 46 and 45 shows. SoCal Val then cuts a promo hyping Evolve 48, Caleb Konley versus Trent Barreta. Trent Barreta then disses SoCal Val, proposes a tag match. Here we go, tag match. Trent Barreta Ray Horus versus the premier athlete brand, which is Anthony Nese and Caleb Konley. And Nese, in my opinion, is the most underrated professional wrestler on the planet. Not in the indies, the planet. There is nothing this guy can't do. He can do technical very well. He can do high flying very well. He can connect with some vicious strikes very well. Honestly, if you've never heard or seen Anthony Nese, check him out on YouTube. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. The match starts off with several springboard Mexican arm drags from Horus. Horus is your face in peril. Obviously makes sense because obviously Trent is the more established star, so they'll be more excited for the hot tag. Horus hits the C4 and then gets the hot tag to Trent Barreta. Barreta goes for hits a German suplex, turning Nese inside out. Nese then hits a gorgeous super click. Horus then hits a running flip over the top to the floor. Horus then hits a tilt the world into a spike DDT. Nese hits a belly to back suplex, and as he falls down, Caleb Konley hits a nasty backstabber for 2. Really was nasty. Nese then rolls him up and then hits a deadlift buckle bomb. Very, very nice. So not only does he roll him up and deadlift him, just put him down, he deadlifts him up and runs and hits a buckle bomb. The strength and the pure strength it takes to do that is beyond belief, and you just have to see it to believe it. Trent Barreta then hits shotgun knees. All 4 men are down. Trent Barreta then hits a German suplex off the top, turning Nese inside out. That's a dangerous move as well. Jesus Christ. Trent then hits shotgun knees again for 2. Good near fall. SoCal then jumps up the apron and distracts. Konley then takes out Trent, allowing Nese to hit the 450 splash on Horus. Good booking keeps Trent versus Konley exciting as neither men were involved in the near fall. Good match. Again, very exciting finish. It was a bit dull during the heel heat. That's one issue I have with very long tag team matches. It means the heel heat that we get isn't the most interesting, but you're sitting there watching it knowing, yep, once this heel heat is done, we're going to get a fucking hectic finish. And it was worth it. 2 stars and 3/4. Very entertaining. Nothing wrong with it. Ray Horus, he was okay. He was okay. This was my second time seeing him. I saw him at Evolve 41. He was better there. He was a bit sloppy, but that's just my personal opinion. There we go. We have an anything goes match. You have All Ego Ethan Page versus Johnny Gargano. Both men, what I love about this is the storyline is basically Page cut several promos saying his life goal now is to end Gargano's career. And it was very, very good to the point where I bought this show based on the promos that Ethan Page cut. I didn't realize there was an Evolve 47 coming up until I saw the promos that Ethan Page were cutting, and the promos were very malicious, very nasty, and it got me intrigued. I wanted to see Johnny Gargano beat the shit out of him. Both men were wearing casual clothes, which gives it a more personal feel. Like, it makes it feel like it's a fight compared to a wrestling match. And when you're trying to suspend your disbelief of 2 guys beating each other up, when they're just wearing normal street clothes, it really does help. Match starts off with brawling from the get-go. Of course, no technical wrestling. Johnny then hits a suicide dive plunger. Basically, they brawl through the crowd for a while. There were some spots with, like catapult into walls, Death Valley drivers on bars, flipping off bars, everything you name it. I mean, there was running, flipping off bars. This is also trial, and the crowd really are electric because there's a clear baby face and there's a clear heel, which is very, very good because in some of these matches, some guys are over so much that even though they are heel, they're still babyface. Gargano is so good, he's a babyface, but Page is so good at being a heel, he could be potentially a future very, very good sports entertainer. I'll get onto that during the Evolve 48 review momentarily. Where are we? Jesus Christ. Gargano then is more aggressive in this, obviously good storytelling because obviously it's more of a fight than a wrestling match. Gargano hits a filthy kick to the head and basically hits it to him, and Page lands dick first onto this big metal bar. Looked very nasty. Page then hits a lawn dart. Page then hits a slingshot ace crusher for 2. Gargano then hits a pendulum discus clothesline, which is very, if you don't know what pendulum is, it's basically when Dean Ambrose does the rebound thing off the clothesline, hits the clothesline. It's that, but obviously discus and pendulum is the technically correct word, and I it's stuck in my head for some reason. I'm a technically smart bastard, and it's just stuck in my head, and I can't help it. Page then chokes him with a rope, and at one point he literally has him choked on the canvas. He picks him up slowly. He then walks to the turnbuckle. I'm thinking, don't you dare climb that turnbuckle. He climbs that turnbuckle, stands on the top rope, lifts him up. He's generally hanging. The commentators are screaming, he's hanging him. Gargano's there screaming, like kicking his legs, and oh my good lord, it's painful. And then Swann comes out basically to stop him because Page was going to hit him with a chair. It was going to be an unprotected chair shot. I was on the edge of my seat. I said, "Don't you fucking dare hit him with that unprotected chair shot, or I'll fly over to Florida and fucking kill you." I don't like unprotected chair shots. I can't watch Mick Foley versus Rock at Royal Rumble '99. It's too painful. I have no time, place, or anything for that. And basically, Swann stops Page from hitting him with a chair, and then Swann super kicks Gargano. I was there like, oh shit! It generally looked like someone's going to kick the shit out of Page because remember, Gargano saved Swann, and they've been tag team partners for ages. I was there in shock, and then Swann hits the frog splash. Page just covers him to get the win. This is a big win for Page when it comes to the rankings, and now we can move on to we can get rid of Page versus Johnny Gargano. We can move on to the Gargano versus Swann feud, and I wasn't expecting in any way, shape, or form because you got to remember they teamed up with Swann and for so long. And Gargano helped Swann earlier on in the show. Then after the match, Swann cut a very good Healy promo about how Gargano was a scumbag and how he only cares about the spotlight. And he did it, and at the same time, he stood on his head, and it was very, very, very good. He literally, just imagine that, stood on his head, cutting a nasty promo about him. It was very good. Good match, great swerve. 3 stars for the match. Add half a star, that's 3.5 for a great swerve. Oh, Jesus, I got a nasty tickly cough coming. I could feel it. Jesus Christ, that was a co-main event. That was very, very good, very well booked because you can now dissect your way. If you can go back to the Ethan Page, Johnny Gargano feud anytime you like because you've cut very good promos. It's like Orton Cena. You can always go back to that. Not many people want you to, but you always can. Whereas now with this Rich Swann heel turn, it now creates more opponents for Rich Swann as he's always been a babyface and Evolve. So you're creating more opponents for Rich Swann. We can go after Timothy Thatcher. You can go after Zack Sabre. Just imagine that, Zack Sabre Jr., Rich Swann. That could be incredible. There's so many options that you could go for with Rich Swann, but they have a match. It's Evolve 48. Swann versus Gargano. We'll get to that after the main event of Evolve 47, which is the Evolve Championship on the line as Timothy Thatcher, your champion, defends against Zack Sabre Jr. This is what I'm talking about, a main event for an independent company. 1-on-1 for that company's world championship. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I love. When I watch New Japan, I don't want triple threats. I don't want fucking tags. I don't want 4-ways, 5-pack challenges, 6-man challenges, 20, 30, 40, 50-man battle royals with 3 rings involved. I want 1-on-1 for the company strap. That's what it's all about for me personally. And what more do you want than 2 technical masters of their craft when it comes to Timothy Thatcher and Zack Sabre Jr. for the Evolve Championship, not any championship, the Evolve, which is the most purest technical wrestling championship you can get. It's incredible. Zack Sabre's number 1 in the rankings after beating Roderick Strong at Evolve 45 and TJ Perkins at Evolve 46. That's why he's in this spot right now. That just shows how important the wins are in the non-main event matches. The match starts off with some fucking phenomenal technical work, maybe the best I've ever seen, but the Zack Sabre Jr. Chris Hero had better. And I love how the commentators, again, thank you. They literally say thank you so much for buying the show on WNLive.com, and I do appreciate that. The technical goes for about 10 minutes until Sabre hits some nasty forearms. Thatcher keeps going for the Kimura, but Thatcher also working the leg. Thatcher then hits some stiff uppercuts, and Sabre goes, "Come on, mate." That does make me laugh. Hearing an Englishman say that is just brilliant. Sabre then transitions from the top rope into a cross arm breaker. That's absolutely mental. This guy's incredibly talented. It's not even funny. Sabre then keeps working the arm. Makes sense, obviously, because his finish was the cross arm breaker. Good in-ring psychology there. Sabre then hits several soccer kicks for 2. Very good near fall. Very, very close. The crowd are split 50-50, giving it that big fight feel. There is some "This is Wrestling" chant. Sabre with a victory roll for 2 and another good near fall. Sabre then goes for a springboard clothesline, but in mid-air, Thatcher counters that into a Kimura, which has been fucking incredible. Sabre then applies the cross armbar, but Thatcher, while he's in it, kind of picks the ankle, and you're thinking, who's going to tap? And then Sabre taps. Oh, it was fucking incredible. It was a technical clinic. And if you are a fan of nothing but transitional, hold-to-hold, fluent, crisp, smooth, no sloppiness, no botches, nothing, just pure pro wrestling, its purest form, this is a match for you. I'm going to give this 4 stars and a quarter. Both men on their knees. They could barely stand. They shake hands to a "that was awesome" chant to close the show. Generally was incredible. 4.25 stars as your main event. Honestly, match of the night. Freaking incredible. So looking back at Evolve 47, you had a 4.25 star. You had a 4 star with Mike Bailey. You had a 3.5 with a great swerve, which kept you entertained. You had a good opener. You had storyline development heading into the Evolve 48 show, which, let's call it a spade a spade. The purpose for Evolve 47 is to get you to buy the Evolve 48 show, but in the process, put on good pro wrestling for you. And that's what it did. Definitely worth your time. Very good show. Please buy it, wnlive.com on demand. Please do, as we jump to Evolve 48. Jesus Christ. I hope you allow me. While I'm doing this, make sure you drop in the comments if you will be ordering Evolve 47 or 48. What will you be doing? Will you be ordering the DVD when it comes out? Will you be ordering it on wnlive.com? Or will you be ordering it all? Or will you even stream it? And if you do stream it, can you please drop in the comments where you found the stream so I won't have to continue paying for it? I'm messing. I'm one of those people. There's probably loads of you out there that I like paying for the product, so I feel that I'm helping the product. No disrespect to people who pirate things. I pirate main event. I have main event on my, as you Americans call it, DVR, as we call it, a record. Wait, I have it on record. It's just I can't be fucked to go down. I can't be fucked to. I don't. I'm one of those people who just I like watching on my laptop because then I can sit at my desk with my book, with my notes, with my laptop in front of me. Full screen, perfect. Whereas if I'm there, I'm lying on my bed, and when main event's on, I'm going to fall asleep. So I'm one of those guys that, I stream. Like, for instance, Raw, with my Skybox in my room, I can't record it. I generally cannot record Raw, so I either one, stay up, watch it live, or two, watch it on watchwrestling.ch the next day. It's one of those things. And Evolve 48, Jesus Christ, what a cracker. Again, let's get to it. Evolve 48, I've already lollygagged and pussyfucked around long enough. Evolve 48, much smaller venue, smaller crowd, but still very good lighting. And when it comes to lighting, it really does make a difference because, when you watch it, you want to see the wrestlers, and when they're outside, some have very dim lighting. Like Ring of Honor, sometimes when they're on the outside, the shadows kind of makes it a bit hard to see. Jim Ross is very critical over that, and so am I personally, because I like good lighting, because it helps you see it. And where the hard camera was placed, I thought was very good, so you could see the whole of the ring. I hate it when companies have to move the hard camera to get side to side to the ring, but this was well placed, and I was a fan of it. So overall, though, good thoughts on the building, good thoughts on the crowd. It may be a bit too small, but the building wasn't that big itself. So opening contest, you have Anthony Nese versus Ethan Page. Who are you meant to be rooting for? Both men are heels. This I didn't get. I guess maybe you meant to root for Nese because it was his hometown in Long Island. I'm not sure about that, but Page has the Dragon Gate USA Open, the Freedom Gate Championship that he stole from Gargano the night previous at Evolve 47. Page, in my opinion, could be a very fantastic sports entertainer. He would probably agree with this. He is a good wrestler, but a better sports entertainer. He has very good charisma, very outrageous charisma. He can cut a great promo. Is he the complete package? Maybe. I mean, the guy can cut a good promo. He can make a swerve look believable. He had an intense rivalry that made me buy the show. This guy could be it. A very underrated worker. Can back it up in the ring. He is a very good worker, but he is not, in my opinion, Evolve worthy. When I come to Evolve, I'm expecting pure wrestling, and he's a sports entertainer. And you really, when I'm watching this match, and I'm seeing Anthony Nese, who's a fantastic professional wrestler, and I'm seeing Ethan Page, who's a fantastic sports entertainer, I'm kind of like, I just want one. That's wrestling. I'm not a sports entertainment guy. I have a shirt coming that I bought from hillbook.com that says, forget sports entertainment, I'm a pro wrestling guy. And I really do believe that. There is a difference between professional wrestling and sports entertainment. And again, drop in the comments what you're a fan of. Are you a fan of professional wrestling? Are you a fan of sports entertainment? Are you a fan of both? You can be a fan of both. Don't be ashamed of it. Sorry, this tickly cough is killing me, but it's 4:07 right now, this recording, but I need to get this done because I want to watch New Japan G1 Climax Final because I was at work when it aired live and I was fucking annoyed. Damn it. Anthony Nese, Ethan Page, just get to this. Page, again, fantastic sports entertainer, and the match starts off with a nice leg lariat from Nese. Nese then hits a springboard moonsault for 2. Nese then cartwheels off the apron into a lovely super kick. Page then hits a belly to back suplex on the apron, and Page applies his heel heat, a pretty boring heel heat. And in my opinion, SoCal Val is such a bitch at ringside. It's literally, in my opinion, she could be Rusev's valet instead of Summer Rae. in all due respect to Summer Rae, she's a good wrestler in the ring. Don't get me wrong, she's a pretty decent good wrestler. She came from NXT. I mean, that's the best training that a person could ever wish for. So how about you have Summer Rae go back to wrestling and let's hire SoCal Val and have her as the valet for a Rusev. She's a very, very good valet, and I'll get on to what I put about her in the Johnny Gargano the Trent Barreta versus Caleb Konley match. Paige hits a bicycle kick, but he's counters by ducking down and moving up with a big super kick. Paige finally hits the bicycle kick for 2. And what I loved about this is they teased the bicycle kick several times. And when he hit it, it had that really big impact for it. Like, oh, that could be it. And when he kicked out, it was a big surprise. Paige hits a slingshot cutter for 2. Nese with a 450 splash to get the win. And this shocked me. Probably shocked you listening to that. And it was a big win for Nese. Booking wise for WM rankings, it makes sense that because now both men have won 1 and lost 1. Well, no. Ethan Page has won 1, lost 1. Nese now he won on the tag team match at Evolve 47. He won here. Now maybe he's moving up the rankings, and in my opinion, because obviously they do shows often in the Long Island area, maybe we have Nese turn heel on babyface on Caleb Konley. I mean, just imagine the pop he's going to get. Maybe they did Ethan Page versus Anthony Nese on this show to see if Nese will work as a babyface. And in my opinion, the guy works either way. He's an absolute incredible performer. And it was a very good match. Booking confused me, but it's Evolve. So I give them the benefit of the doubt and I'll wait. And I'm curious to see where it will go in the future. I was shocked. The show finished fucking 50 minutes ago. I'm sat there and I'm shocked. I'm in disbelief that Nese won. I'm thinking, right, you just had Paige come off a great feud with Johnny Gargano that lasted several Evolve shows, and now you have him job to Nese. I don't know. And then after the match, Paige with a promo pretending to be babyface. Very, very funny, actually. He said, I did it for all my children. I did it even at one point, went to the extent I did it for the people, the cancer people who emailed me. I was like, oh, dude, you really want to heal heat, don't you? Gargano then comes out. Gargano goes to hit Paige, but Swann comes out, stops him. Gargano says he'll forgive him and doesn't want to fight Swann. Swann then attacks him from behind. Bell rings. Rich Swann versus Johnny Gargano. I have the worst tickety cloth in the world. Have me in your thoughts and prayers that my tonsils get better. Damn it. Damn. And I love how Johnny Gargano goes for it. This was storytelling at its peak. This was art. Okay, so Gargano goes for a kick to the head, but he stops and hesitates. It's because it's his friend, but Swann beats on him. Swann capitalized. Swann hits some strikes in the corner. Gargano goes to do the same, but again he hesitates. Gargano is he's just so good at the storytelling. And at one point he goes to hit him, but gets so angry. But then from behind again, Swann hits him. Gargano keeps on trying to wrestle Swann. Swann keeps on fighting him. That's the story for this match. As Swann then spits in Gargano's face, like really spits at him. You can see in his eyes, Gargano's ticked. Gargano then snaps and beats the living shit out of Swann in the corner. Crowd went absolutely nuts because they teased and teased and teased. They gave you a little taste and then boom, there he is, and he came at it and it was fucking great. Gargano then hits a tope suicida. Gargano then hits a slingshot spike DDT. Lawn dart for 2. Gargano then goes for a slingshot spear, but Swann in mid-flight hits a super kick, and by God, it looked nasty. Gargano then applies the Gargano escape. Swann gets out of it. Swann hits a filthy kick to the head. Gargano super kicks the ref by accident. Gargano then has the Gargano escape, but there's no ref. Paige then tries hitting Gargano with the belt, but Gargano takes Paige out. Swann then super kicks the belt into Gargano's face. Swann with a frog splash onto the belt, onto Gargano to get the win. Good match. Loved the storytelling by Gargano. I did not give it justice. Please go out of your way to check out the storytelling that Gargano produced. It really was very good. And if he produces storytelling like this on a regular basis on NXT, because NXT is just guys wrestling for wrestling's sake, add in that storytelling element and it's really special. I mean, Gargano, if you haven't seen him, is the total package. Great pro wrestler, can cut a promo, good in-ring psychology, great storyteller. You got it. NXT, pick him up right now while you can. And in my opinion, maybe, W said, look, we are going to be watching your Evolve 47 and 48. Let's see what you got. Gargano Evolve 47 as a hardcore match, and shows that he can be involved in storylines that shock you. And he did it very, very well. He performed his part very, very well. And then he goes on to have a good wrestling match, and then he delivers in the storytelling department, which is a key, and it's something you can't teach. You just are born with that ability. Jake Roberts, for example, one of the best storytellers of all time. I could go on and on with a list of the all-time greats who did this. And then Ethan Page cuts a great heel promo about, he said he was going to end Gargano, and he did. Page then throws the belt on him and says, this is as worthless as this company's belt. Oh, dude, he literally launches him and then goes, you're as worthless as this belt. And it's like, oh, you are such a heedy prick. I want to fucking knock you out. Good job. Oh, unbelievable. 3 stars. Maybe 3. Oh, fuck it. 3.25. Very, very good stuff from both men there. All 3 men, really. Great, great stuff. Then we go to Caleb Konley versus Trent Barreta. The storyline for this one is the Premier Brand fired Barreta back at 45, 46 as mentioned. So this is the kind of the feud ender. Again, this is Trent Barreta's hometown, also in Long Island. And I tweeted at SoCal Val. This is what I tweeted. At SoCal Val is such a great heel manager. Really is phenomenal at her job. Hashtag Evolve48. She then replied at AJ Styles is phenomenal. I am fabulous. Follow me on Twitter at LK-PW podcast. So that is the cheapest plug you'll hear all night. How about that? Barreta then misses a spear in the corner and lands very hard on the floor. This allows Konley to then apply his heel heat. Konley then goes for a springboard, but Barreta in midair hits a lovely dropkick. Barreta with a double foot stop off the top for 2. Konley with a blue thunderbomb for 2. Konley German. Trent Barreta no sells and hits a clothesline. Konley then swipes the leg off the apron, and Barreta kind of bounces off. And you know how most people do it? They just take it just not on the edge, just on the side. So say this is the apron. They take it like that. Barreta took it like that, and you saw his body bend like that, and it was absolutely gory. Great graphic, great camera position, great production. Really got you right in there. Very good job, WN Live production team. Konley then hits a deadlift bridged belly to back suplex for 2. By God, I'm such a suplex mark, it's not even funny. Konley then hits a moonsault goes for a moonsault off the top, but Barreta in mid-flight kicks him right in the face. So imagine a Konley moonsault as he goes down, kick to the face. Not as bad as the Swann Drew Gulak from the night before, but still very nasty. Konley then hits a rolling back fist and a Death Valley driver bomb for 2. They exchange strikes. Barreta hits a released German suplex, turning him inside out. Barreta then goes for Hurricane Run off the top, but Konley rolls through and hits a deadlift buckle bomb. And then Konley hits Death Valley driver bomb off the top to get the win. And my God, Konley's going to be high on the WM rankings this week. He had a great... That's because basically the rankings is depending on how good your match is. Plus the win. So obviously Konley going to be moving up. He was already up to number 7, but before Evolve 47 and 8. Now with 2 wins, he's going to be bouncing up there. I mean, the match started off slow, and then it picked up his pace, had the heel, and again it kept picking up to the point when you're like, holy shit, who's going to win? Very good stuff. 3.5 stars. Again, great stuff. That's what I love. I love coming in on here and being positive PT, breaking down and analyzing and going from move for move on great matches. That's what I love to do. I hate coming on here doing your main event, like for instance, Superstars. This was an exact quote from my Superstars review this week. I'm sat here. If you go on my YouTube channel and check it out. I'm literally sat there going, this is the worst show in the world and not even being paid. Whereas this is, I'm paying and I'm happy. Like, come on. It's just unbelievable. We have Tracy Williams and Drew Gulak versus Mike Bailey and Ray Horus up next. Pip Bailey's the biggest white meat babyface I've ever seen. If you've never seen Speedball Mike Bailey, type him into Google right now. Biggest white meat babyface you'll see today. Promise you. The story behind this one is that Bailey and Horus are the smaller guys, the underdogs, and they both lost at Evolve 47. Story behind Gulak and Williams is they are bigger, both won at 47, want to climb up those rankings. Catch Point, slow it down. Catch Point is the name of the stable, as mentioned, with Tracy Williams, Drew Gulak. He slow it down at the beginning, obviously. Makes sense. Horus and Bailey then keep on trying to fasten the pace and get off the mat. I did enjoy the technical exchange between Bailey and Williams because obviously a striker versus wrestler, which is a recipe for greatness. Commentators put over how with Evolve, you are watching the future of wrestling. You know, this is what wrestling will be like. And if wrestling will be like this, I'm going to fucking give myself a Barry Horowitz because I'm going to fucking love my life if I get to review wrestling like this all the time. And I wish Evolve ran more shows. Like, I paid for this. There were 2 in 2 days, and I watched both live. And I'm happy I did because they're both very good shows, and you should do the same. Catch point then keep working Bailey's foot. Makes sense. Obviously, Bailey uses his feet with all his kicks. Basically, the majority of his offense are kicks. Will Ospreay. Wow, Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay. Jesus Christ, that's a great transition into. I'll be going to a Revolution Pro Wrestling event, which is UK independent. New Japan Pro Wrestling is coming over to the UK, coming to Reading, and I will be there. And I'm fucking pumped for it. Will Ospreay versus Okada, which is my personal dream match, and I've got it. Is that good? I used it as my Twitter gimmick at the background. Will Marty Skull versus Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles, Jushin Liger. That's just 3 matches announced. There's Kyle O'Reilly announced to be there. Chris Travis returning from cancer is going to be there. He's going to get a great standing ovation. I'm really looking forward to that. I don't know why. I'm just so excited, and it's just 2 months away, so I'm a month and a half away now. I'm fucking pumped. Jesus Christ, where were we? Williams hits that underhook brainbuster, which again so close to spiking Horus in his head. Very not nice. Bailey not very good at the selling. He continues to kick, and it really bothered me because Drew Gulak and Tracy Williams spent so much time working on that injured foot. And then they just threw it all away because Bailey obviously got excited because the crowd there, the adrenaline started rushing through his veins, and he just forgot. Again, I can understand that. I've never been in that position nor want to be in that position, but I can imagine the adrenaline just rushing and you just, not realizing and just going along with it. But in the end of the day, I'll get onto psychology in a minute because Zack Sabre Jr. versus Chris Hero is when it comes to in-ring psychology. Bailey is your face in peril until Horus gets the hot tag. The pace quickens. Horus hits a springboard Mexican arm drag, which are basically the springboard corkscrew holding onto the hand into an arm drag. Jesus Christ. Then Gulak hits some filthy forearms. Bailey with the NATO-esque triangle moonsault. Horus with a running flip over the top of the floor. That gets this is awesome chant. Williams and Bailey exchange strikes in the middle of the ring. And then there's a really scary moment because basically Bailey goes for a Hurricane Rana. Sorry, not Bailey, Horus. Ray Horus goes for a Hurricane Rana, the masked geezer. And then as he goes down, who is it? It was Tracy Williams. Tracy Williams holds onto him like that. As he comes down, he transitions into a half crab. But Horus is still straight on the way down. So he's upside down like that. He comes boof, head first into the... I was something like, oh, God. This far away, you heard a scream. I was like, you heard a, oh. I thought, oh, my God, he's dead. He's dead. Honestly, I thought he died. No, if you watch that, it's out of the blue. You're expecting a Hurricane Run. He's like, oh, no, he holds on. I was expecting maybe a Styles clash off the second rope or something, but he doesn't. He drops down to transition into a half crab. But as he does it, he doesn't pull him forward enough. He has him hooked up there, and he's dangling down upside down, and then he drops him head first into the canvas. Very scary. Oh, my Jesus Christ. Bailey then hits a tope suicida again, and then hits a standing corkscrew splash for 2. They all hit their respective strikes and all 4 men are down. Horus then hits a victory roll bomb off the top for 2. That's beautiful. Sin Cara did that at one point, if you're a WWE fan. Williams then hits a filthy spike pile driver to get the win, and I mean filthy. Awful. Jesus, this Williams guy. I like this guy, but when it comes to technical wrestling ability, but dude, this guy might be a bit unsafe. Like, honestly, he nearly killed Horus with that Hurricane Runner transition off the top into a half Boston Crab. He nearly killed him with the underhook brainbuster both nights at Evolve 47 against Biff Busick and Evolve 48 here with Ray Horus. And I don't want to see anyone get hurt. So I'm a fan of this Tracy Williams. This is the first time, like I said at the start of this podcast for the Evolve 47 review, I'm a fan of this guy from the technical aspect, but when it comes to his, finishing of matches, I hope he just calms down. Again, it might be excitement because he's live on pay-per-view. I don't know. The adrenaline might be rushing, but that was dangerous, and I don't like seeing dangerous. 3 stars, good stuff, though. And then in the match of the double evening, both Evolve 47 and Evolve 48, this is my personal match of the night. We have the Battle of the Best. We have Chris Hero versus Zack Sabre Jr. And in my opinion, Hero is having one of the best 2015 out of anyone. Like, he's having good match after good match after good match after good match. He's just busting his balls every time he goes inside that squared circle. He really is. And I'm becoming a bigger fan of him by the day. Every single match I see him in, he's improving. These guys getting better with age. It's unbelievable. The crowd are chanting both of these guys because they don't know to cheer for. They handshake and there's a smile. Literally, do you remember Bryan versus Punk? They had that handshake where they both smiled. They had this, and I was like, oh, Jesus. And the commentator's like, oh my God, there's 2 of the very best professional wrestlers on the planet. This is going to be special. And then they had a handshake. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be fucking awesome. Then we have a Let's Go Sabre, Let's Go Hero. electric. It generally is electric. They get this is awesome chant for the incredible technical work that's displayed by these two. And a win for Hero could potentially move him up to be number one ranked, as he beat Mike Bailey in a very good match, and obviously if he beats Sabre here. And then at one point, Hero is applied in a head scissors. He vibrates by bumping up and down like this. So just imagine he goes bump, 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 bump to get out of it. That's just ridiculous. And I thought Thatcher and Sabre was great technical wise, but this is better. This, in my opinion, is better. This is Angle Benoit style. Very, very good. Hero hits a absolutely dirty, filthy spike pile driver. It really is. It gets to this is awesome chant. Sabre is selling the neck very, very well. At one point, I'm like, oh shit, is he actually right? But then he got back in the ring and he was bumping fine. Sabre is screaming in pain, and there's something about hearing a fellow Englishman scream always gets me right here in the heart. Sabre then applies an octopus in the outside to gain himself some time. But again, he keeps selling the neck. Every single time he keeps going, oof, like that. He just goes like that. That's just like that, and then keeps going like that, and then gets back to it. That's what it takes. Little piece. That's what separates good wrestlers from great wrestlers. It's two things: the art of storytelling, the art of in-ring psychology. That's my just personal opinion. Don't know if you have the same. Good for you if you do. Good for you if you don't. Not going to argue with you, because everyone has a different opinion on professional wrestling. Everyone has different taste. Everyone has different flares. I like this. I like that. No one will have the same opinion. It'll be boring if everyone has the same opinion. Sabre then hits a tornado DDT, but again, as he hits him, he rolls through and transitions into a guillotine, which is beautiful. Hero hits some elbows, which have ridiculous sounds. Sabre then bends his fingers back, and Hero screams, Zack, no, Zack. And as he's doing it, he's pulling it back, and he's screaming louder and louder, and I can't watch it at this point, but it's absolutely magnificent. Hero then hits some filthy elbows to the back of the head for two. He hits one, and as he's falling down, he hits him again for a second. Oh, unbelievable. Both men are down. Hero with another pile driver for two, good near fall. Crowd still split 50-50. Sabre then hits a filthy running goal kick for two. That gives us this is awesome chant again. Sabre with a basement uppercut. Hero then hits a jumping knee strike, and Zack Sabre just crumbles to the mat. He's just that exhausted. Hero then goes for a gotch pile driver, but Sabre counters into a Kimura. Hero counters that into a release suplex. Unbelievable. Both men are basically fucking exhausted, sweat's pouring off them. Hero hits a discus bicycle kick and a rolling elbow for two. Then Hero picks him up and hits one of the filthiest rolling elbows we've ever had to bear witness to get the win. Hero hasn't lost this weekend again, like I said, so maybe he will be number one ranked, and there's a storyline development and a shock at the end of Evolve 48 that won't spoil until I obviously review it at the end. But again, both men they can't stand. They're basically just lying there. Sweat is pissing off their bodies. Everything I expected and more. 4.5 easy. 4.5 - 4 3/4 for an absolutely phenomenal professional wrestling match and the very best match of the whole weekend. And there was some great wrestling on here, and it really was. Just please buy this just for this match alone. The technical work at the start is just ridiculous. I mean, the guy bumped to get himself out of a head scissors. That's all you need to know. He kept bumping, just kept vibrating, which makes sense because it's vibrating the canvas, and it was amazing. There was some filthy stuff in there, but it was filthy in a good way. It was safe, unlike Tracy Williams and Ray Horus, which wasn't very safe in the slightest. 4.5 stars, absolutely incredible. It took a page and a half of notes. Look, a page and a half of notes just for this. Look, Hero versus Sabre, the whole way. Just absolutely ridiculous. A page and a half notes of just absolutely top-notch professional wrestling at its peak. There is nothing wrong with this. You cannot complain. If you don't enjoy technical wrestling, well, one, don't buy this show. And two, if you aren't just wowed by the magnificent talent of both these individuals, I said earlier on that your styles of pro wrestling may vary, but there must be something, like, I wouldn't say wrong, but there must be something like different about you if you don't think Zack Sabre Jr. is just ridiculous. Even if you don't enjoy that style, you have to realize this is one of the very best technical damn wrestlers in the whole of this fucking world. Literally, I'm so proud to say I'm English because of Zack Sabre. Zack say, oh, that's the English guy. I'm fucking English too. Like, honestly, it's very, very good, and I'm so proud to say I'm English. And the guy's come so far from his days in pro wrestling Noah to now doing the world, the PWG gig, and now this gig. It's just, the guy's incredibly talented. The sky's the limit for this guy. Chris Hero gets better with age. He's just producing awesome time and time again. The guy needs to be rewarded with a good payday, and I hope he retires well. Hope that's not anytime soon. Main event time, no holds barred. Biff Busick versus Timothy Thatcher, non-title match, of course. But the storyline for this one is basically Biff Busick's hand got injured during a match with Timothy Thatcher back several weeks ago, which took Biff Busick out of action for 5 weeks. And on several backstage promos that got very heated between the two, Thatcher kept on calling him a pussy. So this is very personal. I mean, I'm English, and that you don't say that. So it's very personal. So no handshake during the ring entrance. Busick gets a running uppercut. That was very nice. There was no technical, goes straight to strikes. A win for Thatcher here could skyrocket him up. A win for Busick, could skyrocket him up the rankings as he did lose the night prior to Tracy Williams. Thatcher hits 3 rolling deadlift gut wrench suplex. Very, very nice. Thatcher then basically... He keeps on trying to take the wrist tape off of Busick, which has covered the injured part of his hand. It's like Triple H-esque wrist tape. Thatcher then applies a half crab and transitions into the STF. Thatcher then got launched ear first into the ring post. Basically, he was lying down, and then he just got launched ear first. I tell you what, he was pouring blood out of his ear. Pissing everywhere. It was horrible to look at, but at the same time, my God, it was good storytelling. Then Busick goes right on to work on that ear like a shark that smells blood. He pounces on that ear. Busick hits a running powerbomb. Busick then hits the Tequila Sunrise. Busick with a fucking disgusting clothesline. And Busick, every time he delivers elbows. So just say they're in a crosshold. They both don't know what they're doing. Boom. Elbows right to the ear. Very, very, very good story. Thatcher hits an Ishii style headbutt. Just no protection. Just boof. Honestly, revolting headbutt. Thatcher then pulls out a... this was disgusting. Just rereading this made me... Right, you have Timothy Thatcher. He's got his finger like this. He's got his hand like this in an arm wringer. And you're thinking, okay, it's an arm wringer. All of a sudden, you hear a pop. Yeah, I don't know what it is. If it was a camera, if it was a production live on the job, fucking great job. I hope it is. I pray that it is. But you hear a pop and you hear Biff Busick screaming in agony. And then Thatcher just quickly applies an armbar. And Biff Busick immediately taps out. Biff Busick rolls to the outside. He runs to the back. I'm being sick. He runs to the back. He didn't bother selling. He ran to the back. He didn't want. He went with his good hand. He went like that with the camera, like get off me. Don't look at me because I'm going back. I don't want anyone to see that I'm breaking kayfabe because my hands hurt. Honestly, I've never heard a pop like that. It was like a really, just imagine like a finger break, and it was absolutely revolting. Oh my God. Then after the match, Thatcher says that Richards is undefeated and basically challenges him to a match. Drew Gulak and Tracy Williams comes out. Gulak says Thatcher has never beaten him. He's entitled to it. Thatcher tells him to leave the ring. They have an intense stare down. I thought they were going to fight, but Chris Hero, though, comes out from behind, knocks out Gulak and Williams with rolling forearms that were nasty. Then Hero hits a rolling forearm onto Thatcher that he no-sells, and I'm thinking, shit, Hero, you're dead. And then Hero hits a second one. But this was a fucking filthy rolling elbow. I mean, filthy. One of the most revolting rolling elbows I've ever witnessed in my life. Honestly, Hero then says every ring he is in is his ring. The match is incredible between Biff Busick and Timothy Thatcher. I love the way how they had a no DQ element to their match, and they're obviously not any deathmatch wrestlers. They're great technical wrestlers. They used that element. And they used their surroundings, they used blood, and they used handbrakes. I pray to God that handbrake, that finger break that happened to Biff Busick wasn't real, because what I heard in these headphones were absolutely ridiculous. Honestly, damn revolting. And it was amazing. There was no weapons used in a no DQ match, not one, but it was still a very physical, hard-hitting match, and I really enjoyed it, and so will you if you watched it. And it also leaves the question, who's the number one contender? Is it Chris Hero, Davey Richards, Drew Gulak? Who is it? Or is it maybe an Anthony Nese who is undefeated, who got up the rankings this weekend? Is it Caleb Konley who was undefeated this weekend? So much, it's making me stay up to date with Evolve Wrestling to see who's going to become number one contender, so that, because the next show's in September. That's quite a while. September. So that's a month away. You don't want people to forget about you, because wrestling fans have really short-term memories. So WWE seem to think. But, I'll be stuck in my head now. Who's going to be the number one contender? It's going to be keeping me. Basically, what I'm trying to put over is it's going to make me keep an eye out on the Twitter timeline, on these dirt sheet websites, to see who will be the number one contender. Like, are they going to do a triple threat match at Evolve 49 and the winner of that will get an Evolve Championship match at Evolve 50? Maybe that's one way to go about it, but Evolve don't like going down the three-way routes. I don't think they've ever had a three-way match. That's just there. Like, that's putting out there. And maybe they could do it like Evolve 49 because it's Evolve 50. They want the best of the best. And again, it makes me want to find out more, and it makes me intrigued about the next shows, which means Evolve 48 did this job. And I hope Busick's okay. Really is. Shout out. He hopefully didn't get rushed to hospital. I would give you an update, but again, I recorded this live immediately after Evolve 48 finished, so it's done and out of the way. I've been chatting here for a very, very long time with a tickly cough, so I'm very proud of myself for not tapping out. 3 stars, 3.5 stars, sorry, for the main event. A very good main event. And overall, in my opinion, Evolve 47 was the better show. But Evolve 48 can't be sniffed at. Evolve 48 is still a very, very good show. And in closing, I definitely recommend you guys to check out both shows if you're a fan of pure technical wrestling at its peak and good storytelling and great in-ring psychology. With that being said, this has been LK from the KocoSports.net team. That's KocoSports.net. It's where the world comes to kick ass. Your home for combat sports. And above all else, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. And with that being said, I'm LK. Stay safe, stay well. I'll catch your asses down the line.